Hi everyone, welcome back. As you can see, I'm by myself today because I thought I'd address something that a lot of friends and family ask me about, and that is my previous bout with cancer. So, you probably know, or some of you may not know, that in the beginning of 2016 I was diagnosed with cancer. So I had about a year and a couple of months of treatment, along with a number of surgeries, about 5. And then shortly after I was done with treatment, we moved here. So I get the question a lot about how I'm handling my follow-up care and what the medical system is like in Peru. So I'm going to address that today. So first of all, I'd like to start this video by saying by the time this video is posted, it'll probably be about 1 year and 4 months cancer-free, so yay. I kind of missed the year mark. It went by without me noticing, so over a year cancer-free. So since I'm now living in Peru, I do my checkups here in Arequipa. So when I return to the States, I do still see my plastic surgeon, who's an amazing man, and he actually sees me for free. He's amazing, so I still see him whenever I return to the States, which is about once a year thus far. Here in Peru, I have a physical exam every 6 months, which is exactly what my oncologist in Wisconsin recommended. So every 6 months I just have a physical exam to check to make sure everything looks okay. I've found an oncologist here that I really like. It was a recommendation by an acquaintance that had a family member going through cancer treatment, and so far so good. I really like him. He's super thorough. So with my new oncologist here in Arequipa, my specialist appointment costs about 130 soles, which is about $40 every time. So that's with no insurance. I don't have insurance here yet. So in addition to a physical exam every 6 months, my oncologist here has recommended having an MRI with contrast dye every year, and also an ultrasound every year, just to make sure we're all looking good and everything's in the clear. So I've already had an MRI and an ultrasound done since I've been here. So I had an MRI with contrast done. It was about 1,000 soles, which is around $309. Again, this is all without insurance. And my ultrasound cost 80 soles, which is about $24. My experience so far with the medical system in Peru has been really good. I wasn't afraid to visit a doctor outside the States to begin with, but my oncologist is super thorough, like I said. So my oncologist in the States, who is awesome and really thorough as well, just recommended physical exams every 6 months, but this oncologist in Peru has, like I said, recommended a yearly MRI with ultrasound. I'm all for it because I'd rather be safe than sorry. So thus far, all of the medical tech that I've encountered, so the MRI machine, doctor's offices, the ultrasound machine, are super new. It's exactly like what I had in the States because I had ultrasounds and MRIs done previously. It's really nice. My clinic is gorgeous. It's a really pretty building. Everything's really new and really clean. So I'm really happy with that. I was also really impressed with the ease of getting an appointment. Like I said, an acquaintance recommended this oncologist that I'm seeing, and he literally gave me the oncologist's cell phone number, and I sent him a message on WhatsApp, which is a messaging service. He responded the same day, said he'd love to be able to help me, got me in to see him the following week for my first appointment. So it was really easy, and he's super available and always willing to see me. I've seen him a couple of times. So was really easy. I was actually pleasantly surprised because sometimes bureaucracy in Peru things take a little bit longer, so that just wasn't the case here. Also, I get all of my test results that I keep myself, and they also keep a copy at the clinic, but it's actually really nice because one of the things I had worked out with my oncologist in Wisconsin was that if I had any tests or anything done, I would just send the results to her so she could look at it and make sure she thought everything was okay as well. So it's actually really great. So I have these two doctors just double checking everything. So that's great with me. So the only thing that was really different about the medical system here, and I didn't really think about it, but you know, I spent over a year going to the doctor in Wisconsin, and I'm just really used to doing that. Sometimes it was an every week appointment with my oncologist in the States. And here in Peru, things are not set up for an electronic system. So I was really surprised when I got my MRI done. You know, in the States, when I had MRIs done, everything was just sent electronically to my oncologist. Here, I actually physically got the gigantic MRI pictures to take with me in like a little bag to show my oncologist. So I had my MRI done, and things are not email ready here in Peru. So I've picked up all of the big ass pictures, and now we're dropping them off to my doctor. And the same thing with my ultrasound. They printed out the little pictures and wrote up a little report, and I took that physically to my doctor. So basically nothing is sent from doctor to doctor. They give the patient the results, and then the patient takes it to whatever doctor needs the results. So that was different. It's not bad. It's just totally different than what I'm used to. So it was just really interesting from my point of view. So the last thing I took notes to talk about was how I feel. So I get that question asked a lot, and I'll be honest, I'm really sick of that question. So I will say that I feel rather anxious a lot of the time. So before I went to see my oncologist for the first time for a physical exam here in Peru, I really worked myself into a tizzy of anxiety. You know, I think anyone who's had some kind of illness like this will say that it makes you really anxious, and you, I think, are constantly feeling like you're waiting for the other shoe to drop, because, you know, it's something that happens. It comes back, and it really does make you anxious. So that is something that I've been trying to wrap my head around. And then I have some leftover effects from the chemo and the treatments that I went through that are just rather annoying. There's nothing crazy, but I still have neuropathy in my fingers, and that'll be with me for my whole life. I gained a lot of weight when I was going through treatment, which is the opposite of what a lot of people think when you're going through cancer treatments. So for pretty much 6 months straight, my doctors had me taking steroids continuously to counteract a bunch of different effects, and I totally understand why they did it, but it's just really annoying that I put on a bunch of weight, which I have been losing, so yay. But I have just gotten to the point, I think, of where I was before my cancer treatment started, and I gained a bunch of weight. And then, just randomly sometimes, my eyelashes will fall out again. You know, when you go through chemo, depending on the chemo you have, you lose your hair, you sometimes lose your eyelashes and your eyebrows. I did lose my hair, and I lost my eyebrows, I think once, but now it seems like every couple of months my eyelashes will just kind of fall out again. Not all the way, and not super significantly, but it's something I definitely notice. But I think it has gotten like there's longer periods of time in between when they fall out again. And again, as long as it doesn't all fall out, whatever. So really, how I feel is good, and I'm really happy with the care that I've gotten both in Wisconsin and here in Peru already. I feel like everyone's being really thorough, and they're like on my side, trying to keep me where I'm supposed to be. So things are good, and like I said, it's like a year and 4 months cancer free. So it feels pretty great to say that. So cross your fingers, knock on wood, if you're that kind of person, that it stays away. So if you have any questions about any of the treatment I've received or whatever, I'm fairly open about it, so just comment down below or ask, send a message, and I'll try to answer it as best I can. So I guess we'll see you in the next video. See you later.